But I feel bad if Dennis comes up here and arrests me, but he's on his way. Guy that needs no introduction. I'm sure he's going to tell a core story that always reminds him of the story. Dennis McAvoy. Come on up, Dennis.
Thank you, John.
All right, brother.
Thank you. Well, I can't believe it's this time of the year again. Can you? It seems like they fly by, but these are all good things. And we're anxious to always celebrate and recognize good things. You know, having a person like Jim as a recipient this year, I mean, it just further verifies what this award is about. Because after reading all the different letters that were sent in about you, Jim, I always knew you were a good guy, but boy, you're a really good guy. And I guess the moral of the story is, if you're a good guy, eventually you'll be recognized and honored in this way. And this is our highest honor as far as doing that. So that reminds me of a story. The moral. There was a elementary school teacher, and she was addressing her class and saying, for the assignment tonight, I want everybody to go home, think of a story. Then after you think of the story, think of the moral of the story. And come back tomorrow and share it with the classmates. Okay, sounds good. Next day, she's in class. She said, do I have any volunteers? So Sally raises her hand and said, okay, Sally, what's your story? And said, the story is that my family and I, we live on a farm, and every Sunday, my dad and I get in a truck, we load up the back of it with eggs, take it into town, go to the marketplace and sell it. Well, this past Sunday, we're going down the road, we hit a bump, all the eggs fly out of the basket, boom, destroyed. She goes, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, what's the moral of the story? And she said, well, the moral of the story is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Very good, very good. That's the point of this assignment. Very good, Sal. Do I have any more? Sandy raises her hand. Sandy, what? We live on a farm also. And every weekend, we go ahead and get about a dozen eggs and put it in the incubator. See what'll happen. And this past week, only 8 of the 12 hatched. She goes, oh, okay. So what's the moral of the story? She said, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Very good. You guys have got the grasp of this. Do I have any more volunteers? So a little boy in the front row, Tommy, raises his hand. And she said, okay, Tommy, what's your story? He said, my Uncle John was in the war. He was in a plane over enemy territory and was shot down. And before he was able to parachute out, went, got a machine gun, got a machete, got a 6-pack of beer. Then he jumped out, pulled the cord, and floated down. Before he hit the ground, he had drank the whole 6-pack of beer. Unfortunately, he landed in the middle of 100 of the enemy soldiers. So immediately, he shot 70 of them with the machine gun. Ran out of bullets. Pulls out his machete. Kills the next 20 with the machete before the blade falls off. The final 10, hand-to-hand combat, kills them all. Teacher has got her jaw down to here. Silence in the classroom. She goes, all right, what could possibly be the moral to this story? He got up and he said, the moral of the story is never mess with Uncle John after he's been drinking. So there's a moral to every story, and the moral to this story is you're a good guy and you're being honored today. All right, this is the history. That's what I'm here for, giving history. And that tells you something when the history is something I remember so vividly because I'm part of that history there. But this award started back in 1995. And you, Jim, you're the 47th recipient of this award. So this is the 29th year, 47th recipient. So you'll see there's a little more than one per year. We've had some husband and wives and things like that, but you're the 47th recipient. And back in 1995, our board of directors decided to create this award as a form of recognition for a member or members of the community that best exemplified Rotary's motto, service before self. A person that is one that has total respect and admiration to their friends, neighbors, peers in their community, and that have played an active role in the community for the most part and have done so under the radar. That was something that we also try to emphasize. Back in 1995, I was lucky enough to be on that search committee, and through the criteria of forming and who would be a good candidate for the first recipient, we realized, we said, my God, we've got a man right in our club who exemplifies all these qualifications, and that was Roy Lutz. And that's why this award is called the Florence Rotary Club Roy Lutz Citizen of the Year. Roy, at the time of this award, he became the first recipient, and the award named after him, was, according to our information, the oldest living Rotarian in the United States at 100 years old. Now, Roy was a mail carrier for many, many years. He eventually became postmaster of Florence. He was a charter member of this club back in 1945. He was a charter member of the Florence YMCA, very active in all kinds of civic organizations. And if you would have known Roy and knew anything about him, he was all about helping people behind the scenes, never wanting the recognition, always being a good citizen. He was a wonderful man. He really was. And so that is why we chose him at that particular time to be the recipient and be named after him. So today we're selecting a person that fits the mold of Roy Lutz, that has done all the good things that you would only hope and wish for people to do in this day and age. And I've known Jim, but even reading more about Jim, he exemplifies everything that this award stands for. So congratulations, Jim, on this day for you, okay? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad all his guys who get in trouble are named Johnny. So it's my pleasure to send out some of the accolades that are here for our buddy Jim Parsons. He's a really quiet, humble guy. He's been very good to the Florence Rotary and to me personally with supporting the golf outing and some of our other adventures. Jim has a place in Charleston, and he's routinely let people use that place, raffle it off for different things, and raise money for the Rotary. Also with our golf outing annually, he's always been very kind to support that in different ways, whether it was a group, both sponsors, or gifts. You didn't really have to I didn't have to find Jim. He usually found you, and he was always willing to help us out that way. We're very, very grateful for all your commitment to Florence Rotary and the community in general. We also have a letter here from Mr. Jacob Brooks, and Jacob says you've been very dedicated to the RC Durr YMCA, volunteering for many things down there. I hear you're quite the swimmer too, so you like that.
Turtles can swim.
There you go. We're all pretty well aware of that, and the Durr YMCA is in a great partnership with St. Elizabeth and does a lot for our community down there along with the county. So that's a great thing. We have Mayana Webster here with Notre Dame, and they have letters here of support as well. One is from Laura Cole, and Laura, it says she got to know Jim and his work as her work as the principal and president of Notre Dame Academy. If you're not familiar with Notre Dame Academy, it's an all-girls school in Park Hills right here. And it's been there for how long, Dennis? I mean, it's longer than you. Okay.
That location since 1960.
1960.
Prior to that, 1906. So
Thanks, Juan. Yeah, 1960. There you go. Just, well, okay, close. But he was always an avid supporter of the academy, especially our female athletes. And during his tenure coach at Notre Dame, he had a very positive impact on many young women as athletes and as women of character and principle. One of the theme songs of Notre Dame Academy and the girls, it's always kind of impressive, is that go make a difference. And Jim is obviously another person that's not a girl at Notre Dame, but has gone and made a difference, like the Notre Dame motto. So we're very grateful for that. He's always been very supportive of the annual gala at Notre Dame, and he's a compassionate, kind, and generous man. And he shared many gifts and talents with the Notre Dame community. We also know that Jim is a track and field kind of coach. There's some, Jim served over 15 years as the Notre Dame Academy track coach. I know that you even worked with middle schools. That's not in here, but I hear you've done a lot of work with those as well. Jim is in the Notre Dame Academy Athletic Hall of Fame. That is a major kudos. Now, I don't know, I think I just said Notre Dame is an all-girls school. So, Jim, I don't know how many of you are in there like that, but congratulations. That's a big deal. But he's done a lot of good for everyone around us, and he's supported a number of community organizations, and we've just named a few. But as you know, in Rotary, we're time constrained, so we won't go on and on. But let's welcome up here Jim Parsons. There's some good pictures. Now, you could say a few things if you'd like. A few.
Anyway, thank you very much. I'm truly honored and humbled to receive this recognition. I got really excited when Barb shared with me that the recipient, that Florence Rotary was going to be generous with a $1,000 donation to the recipient's charity of choice. So I chose the Sisters of Notre Dame. I've been a friend of the sisters for many years. I've met them through my coaching at Notre Dame Academy, and one of the things that stood out to me that they did was they built 3 schools from scratch in Uganda 25 or so years ago. And I recently learned that initially the teachers were from, I think, the United States and maybe Germany, teaching the young African women. Now these young African women are the teachers.
That's great.
So currently the sisters fund their education. So this $1,000 generous check from the Rotary Club will go to that.
That's great. Thank you, Jim.
That's all I got.
All right, you stay here. Stay right here. We got more parting gifts here. I'll ask that we'll have the check come forward. Where's the big one like that you can't cash? That's one I always get.
Jim, on behalf of the Rotary Foundation, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'd like the senior senator from Boone to rise, come before us, please and thank you. I think we've had Sister Bandcamper here asking for money before, so that's good.
Okay.
Jim, congratulations. You mentioned the Sisters of Notre Dame, and that really touched me because they taught me in grade school in Loveland, Ohio, and but you've always been so humble and so understated, and yet have done so many good work. So as our state senator, or your state senator, it's an honor for me to honor you today. First of all, I have this resolution from the Kentucky State Senate, which is the highest thing that the Senate gives out, which honors you for your work. congratulations. And it tells all the great things you've done there. We're not going to read that, but congratulations. And then secondly, it is an honor for me to represent the governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky today, and on his behalf, commission you a Kentucky Colonel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. John's always so kind to take the time and energy to make that happen for us, and we're very grateful. I'll call up Judge Executive Gary Moore from Boone County. Welcome, Judge. Thank you, John.
So when I was preparing this and getting ready to sign it, I had to read it 2 or 3 times because I've known Jim for many years through business and the great things he's accomplished, and none of those were here. When I read these accomplishments, I was really taken back because Jim is so humble that I never knew many of these things about you. I knew about you coaching some, but he also has great accomplishments in the business world, but they're not mentioned here because this is I would say, the work of the heart that you have done that is so remarkable. So this proclamation could be twice as long as it is if we included his business work and how he has supported so many things around our community. So it's an honor for me to issue this proclamation to you, Jim. It's Jim Parsons Day in Boone County. I won't read all the whereases and therefores because we've already talked about many of those. But it's your day in Boone County. It's not a get out of jail free card. So, but congratulations.
Dennis McAvoy.
Yes, sir. One more thing here for you. The customary plaque, which hopefully you'll put somewhere other than the closet or, whatever. But, and also, this is your Citizen of the Year honorary membership. And that is good till October 14th, 2024. So we would love to have you in attendance anytime you're available to come here and be able to join us, okay? Once again, congratulations for being a big.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
This is perfect example of Citizen of the Year type of thing with humility. Yeah, Gary, you're right. Viking Supply was well known all over the place. I got to meet some of those characters before Jim straightened them out. That was good. But wonderful, wonderful things you've done for us. I'd like to thank Team One, especially Barb Keeling, for always making this happen. I'll turn it over to Julie to get us out of here. Thank you all. All right. You need a wheelbarrow? I can hand that check for you.
So congratulations, Jim. Just, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Next week, our speaker is going to be Debbie Schiff, Thomas More University. She heads up the kind of the professional development, business development arm. So if a business needs any kind of training for their employees, and also she's in charge of their internship program there. So Debbie will be joining us next week. And I think that is it. Just a huge thank you to team number one. Doesn't the room look beautiful?
Yeah,
It's
thank you, Barb.
just top notch.
Tomorrow's
Thank you.
election day, but early
Yes.
and often.
Yes, early enough. Yes, tomorrow's election day. And polls are open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., I believe. So, okay, we're out for the week. Wait, one last thing. I'm sorry. Jim, can you come back up for a second? We forgot to give Jim his book, or to share the book with him. We didn't have it on our thing for today. So Jim, as part of the initiative of our club this year, we're meeting with little ones. And so we've chosen a book and it's going to be given to schools. This is the library. So this is thank you, Jim. Have a great week.